In this series, we are talking about how practicing self-love in 12 very specific ways can actually help attract a new romantic relationship into your life. And in this video, we are going to cover self-love tip number 2, which is how to forgive yourself so that you can move on into a happy, healthy new relationship. Hi love, I'm Carisa Montooth, 6th generation certified energy healer and love coach, creator of the Soul Love Method online course, helping high vibe single women heal their hearts and attract love. And today we are going to talk about how to forgive yourself so that you can move on into a happy, healthy new relationship. Now, you may have heard people talk about self-love before and wondered, well, what the heck does that actually mean? Because a lot of times people don't get very specific. Well, we are going to be very specific in this series and talk about 12 self-love practices that you can start using to attract romantic love into your life. You may also have wondered in the past, what does self-love have to do with romantic love? How are those two things connected? If you've asked yourself that question before, then this video series is definitely for you. We are looking at the work of Louise Hay, and she describes 12 very specific self-love practices, and I'm going to help you understand how those things translate into attracting romantic love. So let us get right into it. So why do you need to forgive yourself? Well, you need to forgive yourself because everyone makes mistakes in love and in life, and punishing yourself does not help you change. If you can't forgive yourself, you're never going to believe that you deserve love, and so not being able to forgive yourself really holds healthy relationships at bay for you because you don't believe that you deserve to have them, and so they are not coming into your life, or you will sabotage them if they do come into your life. Another thing is that if you're unable to forgive yourself, you will punish yourself in other areas of your life, not only love, but you'll punish yourself by not allowing yourself to have a good job or a nice car or a good place to live or being in good physical health. So there are a lot of different ways that we do that, aside from the sabotaging a relationship. And the sabotaging of a relationship, because you're not able to forgive yourself, usually looks like about 2 or 3 months in, you start fights or you start doing things that you know are going to upset the other person or alienate the other person, because deep down what you're trying to do is you're trying to force their hand. You're trying to get them to leave you because you believe that as soon as they get a chance to know the real you that doesn't deserve love, then they're going to leave you anyway. So those are all reasons why we really need to forgive ourselves if we want to have a good relationship come in. So what kinds of things do we maybe feel like we're punishing ourselves for that need to be forgiven? You may need to forgive yourself for cheating on an ex, cheating on someone in your past. You may need to forgive yourself for ignoring red flags. That's a really common thing, and it makes us think that we don't have good judgment anymore, and so we punish ourselves for having bad judgment in the past. You might need to forgive yourself for staying too long in a relationship even though you knew it was bad. And sometimes we do that because we think that we can't really have anything better. You may need to forgive yourself for compromising your values to try to get someone to choose you or to try to get someone to be with you. You may need to forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be taken advantage of by people in the past, like financially supporting someone who was not actually, emotionally committed to you and really like prematurely committing to them more than what they actually deserve to have from you. Or you may need to forgive yourself for settling for something that you knew wasn't actually going to make you happy. So those are things you might need to forgive yourself for. So now, how can you forgive yourself? Well, the main thing to think about is think about how you can recognize and be responsible. So the way to forgive yourself is recognize that you did the best that you could at the time, and there's no way that you can go back and change the past. You also want to recognize how it may still be showing up in your life now. So one example is you might be carrying extra weight because you don't think that you deserve to be seen. And that's a way of punishing yourself. Another example, of course, is sabotaging relationships like we talked about before. Or living in that kind of like rundown situation where, you don't like your car, you don't like your home, you don't like your job, you don't like your health, but you're not doing anything to change those things. Sometimes that can be a way of punishing yourself for things that you're upset about in the past. So now we get to taking responsibility, right? We've recognized that we did the best that we could. We're recognizing how it might still be showing up in our lives. So now we look at being responsible for making a change. Is there someone that you need to apologize to that would make you feel like, okay, now this is cleared up for me and I can move forward into the work of building something new? Do you need to go to counseling so that you can get some support and some help with being able to forgive yourself and to move on? Do you need to start looking at your life and doing like an overhaul and going, you know what, I actually do deserve to have more, and I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm going to actually show that I believe I deserve to have more. Because when you say I believe I deserve to have a better life, but then you don't upgrade kind of the things that you can upgrade, you're sending mixed messages to the universe. And this is where things get to be this is where we look at the metaphysical side of things. It's called praying in two ways. When you say, I believe I deserve love, but then you sabotage your relationships, or you say, I believe I deserve love, but I also believe I deserve to be punished, then it's called praying in two ways. And you send out mixed messages and like a muddy kind of energy that doesn't end up attracting what you want into your life. So being able to get everything aligned through your words and through your actions is really, really helpful. So now what we want to do is go through an exercise together that's going to help you be able to forgive yourself. So what I want you to do is to take a nice, big, deep breath in, putting your hand over your heart. Let it all out. And letting yourself be fully present in your body. Nice, big, deep breath in. Letting it all out. And one more time, deep breath in. Letting it all out. And I want you to envision that right in front of you, facing you, is the child version of you. And she's about 6 or 7 years old. And she's crying and upset because she's made a mistake. And she's very, very upset about it. She feels ashamed, she feels humiliated, and she's crying. Deep breath in. And I want you to allow yourself to tap into that compassion that you feel for this child, you, who is so hurting so deeply. And I want you to envision that you're opening your arms wide and she's coming toward you. She comes into your arms and you put your arms around her and hold her tightly. And as she feels your love in the safety of your arms, she begins to calm down. She begins to stop crying. She begins to be still. She relaxes in your arms, relaxes into you. And now I want you to say to her, I love you, I forgive you, and I'm going to take care of us from now on. I love you, I forgive you, and I'm going to take care of us from now on. I love you, I forgive you, and I'm going to take care of us from now on. And one more big deep breath. Letting it all out. And give yourself some gratitude for being brave enough to do that forgiveness work and giving yourself that gift. And now when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and tune into how you're feeling. What are you feeling in your body right now? How does it feel for you? Different ways that you might feel after doing forgiveness work. It may bring up tears and really deep feelings for you. That's completely normal. Let those tears come up and let them be released. You may realize that you've been punishing yourself for a long time for something, and that you're ready now to look at it and let it go, to do the work to let it go. You may have other insights that come up about patterns in your family where you were acting out a pattern that's familiar to you and that you've seen growing up in your family. You might feel a lot lighter. That's a very normal feeling that shows you that you have experienced something very healing and a healing energetic shift. That feeling of being lighter really lets you know that you've made a shift in energy. So now I want to hear from you, high vibe single ladies. How do you feel about doing that forgiveness work? How did it feel to do that? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, if you liked this video, if you enjoyed it, if you felt the shift, then remember to like and subscribe. And also remember that self-love is the best love. So love you first, love you best, and all other kinds of love will flow to you. Take care.